But like Proto Bahamut, I think is looks pretty sweet at least. I mean, his art's cool. He's got a nice effect, kind of a toned down version of Bahamut. So we'll see how he works out. You know what he fits in. Um, and then I mean, I'm excited to see more of the cards. I think they've, I think Dawnbreak Night is a really good start, sort of a new philosophy of design for them, and I'm excited to see them sort of continue that and see where it takes us.
Yeah, I'm not huge on playing Grand Blue Fantasy, but I have to say that I love that we're getting a Grand Blue Fantasy themed expansion. I think that's really awesome. To...
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't actually watch the trailer for this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I usually do. I usually watch them like as soon. But for whatever reason, I actually it's mostly because I haven't had internet for the past couple of days. Um, yeah, I just didn't watch this one yet, so
But
I didn't even know it was supposed to be Grand Blue themed.
more importantly, we are in this game. We have the Daria matchup, the Daria mirror. One of these players
All
has
right,
their Daria.
so yeah, unfortunately that player also has two Darias, which is not usually what you want to see.
And nothing to really spell boost either. How do you feel about holding on to that Magic Owl? I guess leaving behind, not leaving a target up to be Wind Blasted or Kaleidoscopic Load or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got your turns pretty well mapped out. If you hold on to it, it's going to be Fate's Hand this turn, and then Magic Owl on turn 5. So, it's not great, but
It's what you got.
you got a plan. Yeah, at least this way you have a plan, right? If you just dump it out on the field, then you sort of got nothing. Wow, this is a beating.
Well, that Wind
I
Blast
mean,
is...
the Wind Blast will actually only go up to 3, although he can play the Mysterian Knowledge to make it go up to 4. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty clean clear.
I'd like to see that Insight come down first before we see an Evolve.
Well, he has choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Insight into Wind Blast is probably the best one.
Yeah, if you have the Insight, I'm of the philosophy of if you have the Insight, you just want to get it out of your hand really fast, just to get deeper into your deck and to get into more of those spell boost cards that you want to get.
He does. Ooh, nice.
Ogler is definitely a good card to find there.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet reward. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if he held on to all of his like if he held on to a 0-cost Ogler here. No, decides not to, but sometimes it's good to just play your stuff out for tempo. Other times it can be really valuable to kind of just hoard it all for one massive tempo swing that they just can't deal with.
I think here it's okay to play out one of the Oglers because you're hoping your Daria is going to allow you to draw into more things to play that turn.
Yeah. Well, we can see a Chimera come down here alongside an Ogler and a Blade Mage.
No happy ways to deal with both of these followers. You can throw in a Blade Mage into the 4-1.
Can't you just Wind Blast and then Chimera?
Oh, there's a Chimera there. Yeah, you absolutely can.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty happy way to me.
Wind Blast was hiding there. I didn't see it.
Oh, alright. Decides instead that he wants this. Magic Owl into presumably just dump your hand.
I imagine we're going to see the Chimera and all the other stuffs here.
Yeah.
No Daria, but that's okay. You're getting a whole lot of pressure on the board right now.
Yeah, and you're up on health too, so that's pretty relevant.
By quite a bit. You're up on health. Magic Missile is a good way to clean up that owl, but you're really kind of scratching your head to figure out how you're going to deal with the rest of this stuff.
Yeah. And crucially, there's no Blade Mages and no Chimeras.
No fast answers to anything going on here. Might just
we might see the Mysterian Circle.
I think we might just see a YOLO Daria and hope get something like a Wind Blast or something.
Don't say I didn't warn ya.
Well, you can play that second sword out, but that's still probably not quite enough, I think.
Yeah, I mean, how big is this Wind Blast?
Going beyond dimension.
That Wind Blast,
it's
I
a
think,
big
has been in
boy.
the hand since the beginning of the game. It's at 10, so that can delete anything that it so chooses.
But there's no lethal yet, so
Chimera's a little slow right now. It's not quite going to deal with what's going on here. Needs a couple more turns to get there.
yep. This big golem will get Wind Blasted, but I mean, yeah, he's got a 7-9 if he chooses to Evo. Just a little light.
This ends here.
Just decides to Evo the Guardian Golem.
Probably over
See if
this
he-
3-4 Ogler.
Yeah, we'll see if he wants to trade his 2-2 into the 5-2. Does do that.
I like that trade there. I think it helps you protect your Guardian Golem. This Piercing Rune,
That's a
however,
nice
is
pick.
a nice punish. Double Magic Owl, not exactly what you want in your hand right now.
No, not when you're out of Evos.
No.
I think this can be anyone's game at this point. Both players have
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
resource light hands.
Yeah, it's a close one.
Enchanted Sword isn't really gonna speed much of anything up here. I imagine this is just going to be a Golem Assault for all three of the Golems.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be a Chimera.
That's true.
I mean, Chimera sort of forces the issue, right?
Yeah. But he instead
nope.
decided to go for the for this.
Wants the value.
Been ages since this has happened.
Right? Gives the tempo back to his opponent, but he has the value.
Yeah, and his opponent doesn't have too many crazy tempo plays to make. They can play a bunch of 2/2s, but that's not the end of the world.
Keglo's on 2-2. Decides not to this turn.
Yeah, maybe he can save it until next turn. He wants to have as many stats on the board this turn as possible.
Oh, his opponent's gonna get to do the Keglo and then.
Yeah, and this is going to be just nice and clean. A whole bunch of Conjure
This is
Golems into a
dirty.
Chimera to top it off.
This is dirty. And an ugly. Alright, remember how you said it was anyone's game?
Yeah, now this is no longer looking like this is anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely looking like
It might be lights out here.
Isabel's game.
Imagine a Mithril Golem here.
Holy. I mean, that would clear.
Mithril Golem here would be pretty insane. Unfortunately, it's not the world we live in. I don't think that's ever been the world we've lived in as
No,
far
I
as
don't
Shadowverse
think so.
goes.
But that would be a wild world. Excuse me.
Yeah, so Jengajam's just going to look over his options and possibly come to the conclusion that he has none anymore. And that's exactly what's
Yep.
happening.
That's the conclusion he comes to. All right. So game 1
Goes to Maddog.
out of the way. Check. Now, I wonder if these players have a plan for the mirror.
I wonder if these players are going to bring in their giant chimeras. They've got to be they got to be saving them for something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there has to be some reason they're in there. I mean, but again, this just feels like another matchup where I don't know. I mean, is Giant Chimera a better card than D-Shift?
I don't know. The giant chimera, to my understanding, works is people like it in Daria as a one of just because it is a nice card to pull off of your Daria. If you spell boost it later on in the game, and it's also not the end of the world if you just throw it away to a Daria either.
Yeah. I think that this could definitely be a matchup for Fire Embrace.
Yeah, a zero cost way to just flip the board on your opponent.
Because yeah, I mean this matchup is all about flipping the board.
I think this is the matchup for Mithril Golem.
You know, you can put that in your sideboard. But let the professionals work, Sarah.
They're trying to do something important here, like not play
Yeah.
Mithril Golem.
They're trying to actually play the video game, not listen to your nonsense.
This is also the kind of matchup where something like a Mutagenic Bolt, not always, but can in some situations be very handy.
Yeah, that's the sort of card I would like to test for sure. I mean, I think it's great in the Shadow matchup. Not sure about this one, but it has potential. And if you bust that out on their Daria board, and you're ahead on life. That can be big. It can be a big game.
Alright, and we're going to be jumping into this in just a second. And there we go. Both of these players' sideboards are very similar to each other. I don't believe they're the same sideboards, though.
I guess you're looking for a fight.
Yeah, I think one of them have Conjure Golem and the other one didn't.
Yeah, one of them has... So Jengajam has 3 Conjure Golems, a Time Worn Mage Levi, an Angelic Snipe, and a Clark Arcane Scholar. So actually they're not as similar as I thought they were. The only cards that they share are they both have a Giant Chimera and a one of Kaleidoscopic Glow. I find it interesting that both these players decided to go for the one of Kaleidoscopic Glow. And they both played 2 Commence Experiments in their sideboard as well.
Yeah, no, I mean it is interesting. I think that's definitely the sort of card you're looking to bring in against aggressive strategies. Not super great in the mirror though. I could definitely see cutting Kaleidoscopic Glow in this matchup. And the only real target is Magic Owl.
They also both have 2 concentrations. So maybe a little more similar than...
Yeah, concentration I could definitely see bringing in. Certainly better than Kaleidoscopic Glow. And it looks like... who's on top again? Jengajam?
I believe it is Maddog on top.
Excuse me. Yeah, so Maddog bringing in concentration for sure.
Yeah, in these spell boost mirrors, there are sometimes occasionally in the early turns just a whole lot of passing back and forth. So
Yeah.
concentration is very good for those turns.
Yeah, it can be a real mirror breaker there.
Why do you think he opted to go for the magic missile into Guardian Golem instead of just concentration? Just to get more spell boost, possibly?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess he just wants to use his mana more efficiently. Maybe get a little pressure on the board. Doesn't seem super exciting into what could be a magic owl coming from your opponent. But was not a magic owl.
And there's a Daria picked up off the top. There's a magic owl
Alright,
here.
so ooh, this magic owl is good.
Yeah, we might even just get both of these Oglers played out.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised. That's gonna be a real beating because honestly there are not the cards in Jengajam's hand to really deal with that.
No, he didn't get all too many spell boosts going on in the first couple turns. He doesn't have anything like a Wind Blast or a Fiery Embrace started to deal with this. No Magic Owl to punish something like a 3/4 on the board either.
Yeah, he didn't, and crucially, he didn't have the magic owl, so he can't even play a 2-mana piercing rune into some more action. This piercing rune is kind of just stuck as 4 mana. Like, ugh. He can play like an Ogler and evolve it into a piercing rune, but that really only clears one thing.
No, you need to start spell boosting here to try to work your way out of this.
Yeah. All right. So he's found some things to do this turn, as Rune invariably does.
Working his way towards a Daria next turn. He's getting there.
Okay, so goes for the line. Kind of a weird line here, I think. I'm not sure why he didn't evolve the ward.
Just
now
so
it
that
gets traded in pretty easily.
maybe because there could have been something like a... Well, if he does go for this trade, right, the 5/6 onto the 5/5, he does set up for a pretty nice piercing rune. And
Yeah,
maybe it was to
well,
try to
that
play
is
around an
true,
opponent's
but-
piercing rune.
This is going to be another just brutal turn.
Yeah, it's going to clean
Just
everything.
no mercy. Oh my goodness.
With a bang and a boy.
Just running a freaking clinic over here. Taking him to town.
That's not the best refill, but it will certainly do here.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You got 2 action cards and a value card. And this Daria is going to have to do something truly magical. Oh no, that's disaster. Did not want to pull that off of that.
Alright, well, Wind Blast is a start, but I think that's all that it is right now. It's just a
Don't
start.
think it's enough. I think he's just going to be dead on board.
You can clear off 3 of these things. You can clear off the 5/6 by evolving your Daria. You can
Can
Wind
you?
Blast one of the other big threats off the board.
And where are you getting the third one?
You would need a second evolve. There is no
Yeah.
third one.
And in that case, he's just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes. All right. Well, a much faster match than last one.
Okay, sure.
Maddog
Jengajam's-
School and Jengajam.
Just gonna concede that one. And Maddog is going to be going to the finals.
All right. Maddog versus Deviate.